Well, Ed, if you saw a picket line with signs that read Christians supporting abortion, what would your reaction to that be?
I don't know. It just doesn't fit. It's those are two conflicting terms to me. Christians and abortion shouldn't be in the same sentence.
Well, unless it's Christians opposing abortion.
Well, yeah, that's okay, but not Christians for abortion.
You know, it's an interesting conversation to have. Um, I believe that the reason abortion is legal and that we have seen over 50 million of America's little children killed in that practice is because the church is largely silent on that issue.
Yeah, they seem to be fearful, ambivalent, fearful that somehow they're going to lose parishioners, congregants to their churches. But uh, can we do this and still honor God? And I mean, this is,
That's
you use the word kill, but you know, I prefer to use murder. It's murder when you kill a child.
Well, that's a harsh word,
Yes.
and I'm not disputing the word, but let's put ourselves in the position of an expectant mother who felt as though she had no other choice. She's in a crisis, and so she submits herself to an abortion and eliminates this life that God has placed inside of her. Now, you could call that murder, but when you do, you don't win that woman to Christ, or you don't win that woman to a pro-life position because it alienates her and her defense walls go up.
I see what you're saying, but my attitude on that is, you know, God's really big on truth, and truth is it's murder, and she's giving this child to be murdered, and the abortionist is murdering this child in the womb. Now, I understand you might want to make it more palatable to the woman involved and to anyone involved, but murder is murder.
Well, I believe that at the very least we need to immerse that conversation in the grace and the love of God and the forgiveness that Christ provided for us, because there is forgiveness, isn't there?
Even for murder.
Yes, and you know, these little children are precious in the sight of God.
Yes, they are.
So are these women who have been victimized, and we need to approach them with love
Well,
rather than an assault.
the women, the men involved, the abortionist, if you will, are all children of God. And as such, they can be forgiven for this.
The alarming thing to me, Ed, is that people in the church who say they are followers of Christ do not seem to place, many of them don't seem to place the same value on life that we know God places on life. God said, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, and I know the plans I have for you. They're good plans to give you life.
Yes.
And so I had lunch with my wife and two other women the other day after church. These women are godly women. They know Christ and they love God. But both of them are supporters of abortion.
Wow.
And I sat there in almost disbelief because I cannot connect those two dots, Ed.
I can't either.
One of them was fearful that if abortion weren't legal, it would force women into the back alleys. And I'm thinking, my God, has she not heard the horror stories that are coming out of these abortion mills? The women who have been killed and ruined physically for a lifetime. And has she not heard that 50 million little children were killed in the practice of abortion? And does she really think that 50 million women would have sought out back alley abortions? I hardly think so.
Well, I'm glad in a way that I wasn't invited to lunch, because this is the grim fact is that they committed murder.
Well, the sorriest thing is that Christians, by the way, the other one was a pastor's wife who's since retired from that, but she not only voted for America's most prolific abortion promoting president, Barack Obama, She's a registered Democrat, and she supports abortion. What is wrong with the Church of the Living God, Ed?
I don't know.
I think it's ignorance.
Hope God has mercy on her as well.
I think ignorance is a plague in and out of the church, and we need somehow to communicate with love the truth that God loves life.